Fine.
All right, you can start whenever you're ready then.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
3, 2, 1. All right. So I've taken over the channel now. We're gonna be talking about Origin. We got the revenue report. Say hi, Kelly, on your own channel.
Yes, hello, it's me, your main source of news when it comes to
Yes.
7DS Origin, of course.
Yeah. Shout out to the Twitter.
Yes, of course. 15K by the way.
W, bro.
Yeah.
Holy.
For a game.
I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For a game that's interesting to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, um, I mean, why don't we just hop into, I mean, you could start your thoughts on the 2.6 million, was it? Let me pull up the Gacha
Yeah.
charts.
So on screen for the viewers already, by the way. Origin is in the top 40 for the revenue chart, 45. It made
Hmm.
2.8 million on mobile, which is Android and iOS, obviously.
Yeah.
Doesn't count PC, doesn't count PlayStation, respectfully
Yeah.
so. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see it until I got out of work. I
Yeah.
was genuinely shocked it was that low.
I'm not gonna lie, it is just looking okay, to be fair, I will say like my comparison in the recent times was BSR, which
Yeah.
had 1 week. To be fair, it was also 1 week, right? It came out
hmm
on the 21st of November. I understand that it's like more playable on mobile, but I don't know about other people. I bought on the web store, right? So it didn't
hmm
really count. So
hmm
BSR made like 10 mil, which obviously I think
Which
we
which
also
was
got to
crazy, by
consider.
the way.
That
Thinking,
was insane.
yeah,
Considering they made 100 mil in 4 months, like that was crazy. But like I'm only mentioning it because like I was expecting. I mean, we've talked. I was like minimum, it's making 5 million.
yeah,
Like I remember when we talked about it, I was like, it's making 5 mil, like without a doubt in a week.
100%. Because especially with like, well, we know more like the behind the scenes stuff because of like the whole rights
Yeah,
issues and things. So we knew like what the potential was with
yeah.
BSR, but the fact that like, I mean, Bleach fans are crazy to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it
You
does
know,
help that the gacha is just really good and
hmm
everything. So like that, it does help, but it's more so just I use that as like more like a
the
that was my
metric,
comparison,
yeah,
and I was like, damn, okay, because like I don't really care the actual number. It's more so how it ranks compared to others is what I'm
hmm
looking at, and how it does. Because like it's more I kind of use it as a index. Because
hmm
like if BSR did 10 mil and then Origin does 1/4 of that, that's a bit of a yikes. Now
yeah.
there's PS5 too. So there's that, which I'm not gonna lie, especially because I only got a PS5 recently. I was like, yo, you could actually like Apple Pay on that. I was like, yo, that's actually kind of fire.
You didn't know that?
No, I mean, I had a PS4 for the
hmm
longest time, and then I get a PS5. Like, wait, I don't even need to insert my card. I could just Apple
Yeah,
Pay.
literally,
So it's
like,
like pretty easy to buy.
mhm.
Also, they probably, like a lot of people, definitely got scammed on the
Dude,
$10
with that little
pre-order.
to be fair, I'm not gonna lie, I read into it, like, a couple days ago, it's a pretty good pack for, like,
Yeah,
starting off,
yeah.
but, like,
It- it's more so
very
people
scammy.
would have bought it.
Mhm.
People would not have bought it if they didn't. Like
Yeah.
the amount of people we saw thinking that you needed it, that was
Mhm.
funny. That was
Yeah.
so funny
Yeah.
though.
I mean, overall, like, I think 2.8 isn't bad, right? But is
No,
it I think it's not, quote, unquote, "bad," but, like, it's really weird seeing an open world game launch like that,
yeah.
like,
It's more so
compared to
to
everybody
me
else.
a reflection of how bad mobile launched.
Mhm.
That's what it shows to me. But the other thing I will say is I think the bigger spenders were on PC anyway, because logically speaking, if you have a PC, you would have more funds in general if you're playing
Mhm.
gotchas on there. And this game runs the best on PC. PS5 and mobile has the biggest performance issues,
Mhm.
not even counting like the overall bugs. So it's like we can't really get an accurate report until they have those like quarterly
Yeah, those Netmarble quarterly
like
reports where
yeah,
it's like, "Hey, this game's carrying our company,
yeah.
like, here's what game isn't," like, 100%.
The other thing is, like the first month, it's hard to gauge when it's only a week. Also, I think it's more so how will it look in the future months? Is it gonna like
Mhm,
if next month makes like 5, 10 mil, then I think they're in a good spot.
mhm.
But I don't know if it will
Yeah.
because if
So,
they
like,
release Daisy, I think it's genuinely like I think it's cooked. I think the minute they release Daisy as the first banner, it's cooked.
respectfully, I think I have to agree. Obviously, I don't think the game's EOSing, right? The game's here for a
No,
while.
I
Games like
love
this have,
I
like,
love Words,
like,
man.
they're not gonna EOS because of
I
IP
think the
stuff, like,
retention is higher. The
yeah,
retention's a lot higher for these
that's
types
true.
of games,
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't know. It
The
was surprisingly low. I thought like five
Yeah.
million was the lowest it could be.
Like, I got out of work, I saw your tweet, and I quote tweeted it. I was like, "Well, like," I'm like, "Let me show a little bit, like, let me defend, Steam," like,
Yeah.
to be fair, it was like top 5 or top 10 on multiple countries, so like that's
Yeah,
really good, especially because of games like, they're competing with not just gotchas, but like shooters, like rivals,
yeah.
hero shooters.
No, they're good on
The
Steam.
whole
It's just
It's just
I don't
weird
know.
on mobile because,
Yeah,
we're used to these games being made for mobile, but I feel like we're entering an era where it's like gotchas are being made PC first, then mobile
yeah.
second.
The
Um,
thing is though, like
mhm,
you said it yourself when we were in VC, when I was defending mobile before, like you
yeah,
were saying how like, even the phones made for playing like these
we're
high-end games
struggling.
couldn't run Origin.
Yeah,
And
very
also like I think the biggest problem was, something that like after the fact a lot of people mentioned like that Marble just overpromised and like they didn't
very
give us enough
undelivered. Yeah,
because we were supposed to get a major update with the grand launch.
major
Where
update.
is it? Where is it? Where
major
is it?
major like I mean me and Beats mentioned it in both of our videos respectfully. It was like major update, 18 character, well,
Yeah,
more characters in the beta. We've had less characters in the
less.
beta. Uh
Yo, that's also gonna be so funny if they drop Daisy after saying more characters than in beta, and then they drop the character that was in the
in the
base
beta.
base pool.
Base
Oh
pool with
no!
just
Oh
a
no!
tiny bit of a buff. You'll
Yeah.
probably never use her unless like endgame
Nope.
requires two
Hey man,
teams.
I'm gonna be
And
using that Wind Daisy with Wind Tristan, and we will
mhm.
be cooking. Okay, we will be cooking.
Dude, it's weird because like they're handling this game very different compared to other gotcha games they've released, like SLA,
Yeah.
uh,
Not even just that. I
Grand
think this is
Cross
like
is just weird.
the worst launch they've had for like a big title.
That's
Also considering,
mhm,
I would say this is their golden child, or what I thought was their golden child. I think this is like the worst handling of a gacha I've seen from one of the
mhm,
bigger companies. Because like I would say overall, if we did a one-to-one comparison, I'm very obviously like in tune with BSR. I think
mhm.
BSR overall did a worse job, but because this is Netmarble, I think if we take that into account, this is probably like one of the worst gacha launches I've seen in a while.
Which is crazy, by the way, because well,
Last
we
was probably Wuwa. I think the last one, this is like
literally,
as bad or worse than
I
Wuwa.
was gonna say 1.0 for what, like, as much as the game is like glazed to now, respectfully, Wulo on launch was probably the worst game I've ever played,
Yeah. The
and
performance issues were
it was
worse,
bad.
but the thing is, they got it fixed pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
they were on it. Those people did
And
not go to sleep that day.
not even just that, they gave good compensation.
Hmm.
And
Oh, dude,
they
that was
also like
crazy.
they there was so many things that were
Hmm.
good back to back. Like fuck in 1.3, they ended up just handing out
That
Zhang
free,
Liao for
yeah,
free.
I
Like or
remember
no, sorry, that was 1.2. Sorry, I think it was 1.2.
the male character, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the cube guy, the purple
Hmm.
cube guy.
Yeah.
So it's like they had good things going, but like we're hold on, let me see how much time left on Melly. We're 4 days, 21 hours out until the next or until Melly leaves, which would imply the next banner is in that time frame because
Hmm.
there's no way they're letting PC have no banner.
I was
There's no
about to
way.
say
It's
there's
not
no
happening.
I
No.
refuse to believe they're gonna leave us with standard because I think
Yeah.
I would go crazy. You're telling me I have to save even more currency? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I
Yeah.
get the whole
I
aspect.
bet oh bro, I'm eating though.
Mm,
I've got 21K. I'm gonna get
I
there easily.
I need Jericho, please. I just want to summon. I'll lose a
Yeah.
50-50 if I have to. But the thing is, it's weird because like you said it earlier, like this is their golden child. I don't think the game is their golden child. I think the IP itself is their
Yeah.
golden child. Because to be honest with you, before before Grand Cross, I didn't know what Netmarble was.
Yeah.
I've never
Not
heard
even
of
just that.
Netmarble.
Bro, Grand Cross still makes money.
Did
The
did
crazy thing is they have a smaller team and it still makes more than a Rise. How?
what's
How?
crazy? Wait, did it make more than a Rise? Oh my god, Rise is even on here.
Yes, it consistently makes more than a Rise.
That's crazy.
Bro, and Grand Cross has a smaller team now. Like it does because most of them transferred to Origin and it's still
Mhm.
making I think it made more than Origin though, or like
I
it was tied. It was
uh
like tied
Grand
almost,
Cross
right?
made 2.7 this month,
Yeah, it was
2.74, and
pretty
then
much tied.
literally like 100,000 more or less than
Like
Origin.
just
Yeah.
seeing like if you check like Origin sorry, not Origin. Grand Cross is extremely consistent.
I
And it's
mean,
just wild to think.
it's one of those
Like
things as well where it's like the game has its community, so it's like
also
it's
to be
dedicated.
fair, the PC you can't buy on PC any still, right? It's
No,
like,
you can. Plus, we have a
oh,
web.
you
Oh,
can
there's
now?
also a web store as well, by the way.
Okay.
So that's like not
Yeah.
even counting that. So,
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, because I
mhm,
remember when I was playing during the like Blue Estarossa days, like you
mhm.
couldn't buy on
That
PC.
was awful, by the way. Still to
That
this day,
bro,
like
having to, especially when I was like, oh damn, I want to like get a pack or two, and then it's like after, oh, gotta download 10 gigs, gotta
go on
download.
mobile, buddy. Or that
So stupid.
or download BlueStacks. Not sponsored, by the
Yeah,
way, but like it's like you would
yeah,
do that. That would be the
yeah,
way of
yeah.
doing it. But back to the topic. I've already seen people saying like, "Oh, EOS," like in just the actual like official
People say that for
server.
every game. No,
That's what I
people.
was gonna
That's
say.
that's the
Like,
thing.
no offense, like I'm gonna throw DNA here under the bus, but like if that game can keep going, that like I
Mm,
people
yeah.
tend to forget
The
that
thing.
these companies have deals with IP holders. The game
Yeah.
isn't gonna be shutting down for like 2 years
There's
potentially.
two things though. Like the first thing I will say is I would argue like infinitely more costs went into Origin
Oh,
than
dude,
DNA.
I really hope one day like they show or like tell us how much like
Yeah.
financially they put
And
into.
the second thing though, even if they have to keep it alive for so long, it's they could end up bleeding money by the end. Even if it's alive, it's very different for anime gachas compared to original IPs because
Hmm.
like they're kind of stuck in contracts in the first place with
Hmm.
the IP holders, whereas like they could like other gachas could just shut down when they want.
Yeah.
I really think this game should have been delayed to like June or July.
What's crazy? I think I agree because and hear me out. It would have been the same joke. Oh, it's delayed again.
Yeah.
Who would have? And
I would have rather
I would have
if
done
we
with it.
opened it, when
Hmm.
was it? When did it get delayed? January?
January.
No, December. December. It was December. Yeah. And
Was
December
it?
about. Yeah, yeah. I remember I was on
It was
vacation.
like
It
a
was when
week
I was on
before. It
vacation.
was like a week before
Yeah.
launches. I was like, guys, like, what's? There's no stream announcement.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it was
I
like a week
I
before.
think
Yeah.
they should have delayed it to June or July
Mm-hmm.
because we needed another beta.
Hundred percent.
I think I was doom posting a lot because like bro, we
Mm-hmm.
didn't get a beta until October. I forgot October, right?
November time, I believe. October, November, because it was like towards the
It was before
end.
BSR, so I think it was end October. Yeah, it was end
Yeah.
October. It was
Yeah.
end
It
October.
was like 16
So
or something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so the thing was like even now, like I feel like the state we have the game in now should have been beta tested again.
100%. So I don't know if you watched me and Beats' like little mini podcast thing we did.
I didn't get to yet.
Really good watch. Just plugging
Definitely
obviously.
will.
He said, and I quote, the beta we played was what like it was a version of the
Should have been an
game.
alpha.
It should have been alpha, and that's one.
Yeah,
And two, like
yeah,
it was a version of a game that skipped the learning curve of the game if you think about it. Because
yeah.
if you remember, you did
That was
story,
crazy,
you played
bro.
story for like 6 hours,
We were clueless.
and then you jump into Red Demon, and that's all we
Yo,
did.
yo, the red demon, dude. Like us, like I think it was like one of the craziest moments when we found out when the beta ended that Gila like screwed us over. Oh my
That Beats
god,
was screwing us
yo,
over with his Red Gila. I don't think like
oh my god.
it makes you wonder. It's like
Oh,
the game told you less things to like if people think that the game doesn't tell you what to do properly
oh,
now, in
dude,
the beta
yeah.
it didn't tell you at all.
Because
Like
you have to think like, bro, the fact that like people just don't like, I still think most people don't know how burst or tag or magic gauge works.
yeah.
And like we had like no info. But the thing is, for me, it's more so like the game releasing now, there's so many things that we found wrong with it, but not even just
Mhm.
that. It's the bugs, but also, am I tweaking? Like they showed us so much in the streams like 2 years ago, and like none
Mhm.
of that content made it to launch. Like
Uh
the chibi PvP thing.
mhm.
Also, Merlin, Gother, like, where are they? That's crazy.
I'm gonna
Which
be honest with
it's
you.
fair. To be fair, it's fair that they release it after,
Mhm.
but I think like the amount of times we brought up that solo leveling roadmap, we didn't get one.
Oh my
How do we
god.
not get
I
one?
promise you, I think genuinely like people might call us crazy for like waiting for this game for 4 years. They've called me crazy for that like multiple times. Um I've always dreamt of like the day they dropped that roadmap for Origin. Because when
Yeah,
Soul Leveling
yeah.
did that, I was like, Net
Oh,
Marble is
dude.
insane. I've never seen a gacha do it. I mean,
Yeah.
we glazed it. We glazed it. We don't play.
It was a good thing.
We don't even
Like
play SLA, and we
dude.
still knew how
Yeah.
good that roadmap was.
I
Like,
mean, I
especially
didn't,
the
but
creative program
I
they
did.
have.
I'm just saying.
Well,
Oh,
you
the
know what?
creator program was
The
crazy.
creative program is
Yeah.
crazy. They still do roadmaps, by the way. I just need to understand like what happened. Well, not what happened with the mindset with Origin, but like what's going on. Like they're
I
communicating with us, but
yeah,
not
no, it's
enough. I
bad.
feel like we need a
I
death note
honestly
where they sit
think,
down and actually just
dude,
yap.
Bro, we
Like,
need a bigger Yap Fest than the
mhm,
one for the delay. Like, I
mhm,
genuinely think so.
yeah,
Cause like, you know what was crazy to me? Which I think I mentioned like kind of in passing in VC.
mhm,
They talked about the problems they were fixing for their most recent one,
mhm,
and they very quickly went over the fact that like, oh yeah, we're gonna fix like navigation and all that in the future. The
mhm,
way they presented it made it seem like that's not their main priority
mhm.
when it's like the main priority they should be focusing on.
Yeah, it,
Like,
it's it's
it
weird.
was worded because like they had, you know, what they had like they had the text saying, yeah, we're gonna work on navigation, and then they put the actual bullet points going into detail of what they're working on.
Mhm,
So it literally made it seem like that's not their priority right now, which
mhm.
made no sense to me. And then, Kelbert, how many times did they mention fixing that co-op invite?
I, they mentioned they fixed it, by the way, and they said, and I quote,
It's so
and I
funny.
quote, "It might still happen. It's not fixed, bro."
Yo, yo,
Real
no, it
quick,
makes no
real quick.
sense.
Netmarble, we love you. Let us in the program, please. We're
Bro,
hating right now, but I
no.
promise you, we're the only people who actually want your game to succeed. Like,
Dude, the
genuinely.
fact that they also mentioned it in the first dev note, the second dev note, the third dev note, and then finally they're like, it's fixed, but guys, it's gonna still happen. So it's like that made no sense. Also, where was the update they promised us on Grand Launch? I think that was when I realized, oh, the bugs are so bad they have no time to actually do updates.
Mm-hmm. It's getting to the point where, I'm gonna show for the game when I can, respectfully, but it's when this Melly banner leaves, I better see the biggest death note
Oh,
of my life, or this weekend, or
I think
something. Because
Friday.
like,
Like we've gotten it off Thursday, Friday, right? So I
yeah,
think that Thursday night, Friday night, we should get something.
hmm
Um, I just it's so odd to me how this game's been handled, and
hmm
I think the Gacha revenue has reflected that in turn
hmm
because I do think that them making that little compared to how other Gachas have launched
hmm
is deserved. It's fully deserved
hmm
because genuinely, considering they were like, yeah, we're gonna fix the mastery, we're gonna have a huge update for grand launch. Almost been 2 weeks, by the way. We are 4 days out of that being two
hmm
weeks since they said over 2 weeks because that was before grand launch. They said that they
hmm
promised us a big update 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
We didn't get it, and nothing's been fixed. Not even the bugs. Like that is bad. And then like all the good things, it's like, oh, that's gonna be in the future, but we don't know when that is. And I think also the mentality of the community, at least like, with Z Crew and everything, is a bit
hmm
worse because we all are under the impression Daisy's next. And there's no roadmap to dissuade that.
I look. I Fun fact. Last night, I was making a video of me just like basically like this, just me clearing world bosses, just ranting. It was me saying like, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be here for this game, but I don't know how many people are
Yeah.
gonna be here for Daisy.
No.
Daisy is not the banner that should be dropping next.
I don't
Genuinely.
think like Daisy, if she's not an SR, I think it's a fumble.
I mean, she's not. She has a gotcha skin. We know it. Like, Netmarble, don't strike us down for mentioning it, but like, it's there.
I
Like,
don't know.
there's people are posting it
I'm
online.
at
We
the
know,
point where
like,
it's more like I think they should just do a last minute change, make her an
mhm.
SR. I don't think she should be an SSR
Hey, we hear
unless
your
she's added to
feedback.
standard pool. If she's added to standard pool,
Hmm
then like sure. But it's more so like I'll see how they handle it. But I think if Daisy is in the first 3 months of the game, I
hmm
think it is a fumble. Like no matter when,
hmm
because if they're putting Daisy out now, I mean I've said this multiple times. I think we're not going to get the sins. I don't think by 6 months we're going to have all the sins. If
hmm
we get Daisy now, Escanor, Merlin, go third bond, we're not getting them
hmm
for a while. Like they're not going to be here for a
Like,
while, which is
I,
crazy.
I think Beats said it best. He's like, I would have rather preferred that Manny was the character we got, but either way,
Mhm.
we just want Sins first.
But the thing is, I'm not going to lie, like there's not many people that like many of the OCs at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't like, I personally think Manny's the best looking one. I think
Mm-hmm.
she actually has a really good design.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of Drake. I think he's a good standard one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, The only one that is cool is the Aizen one.
Yeah.
That one I think I'm excited for.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the Chibis, right? The Chibis kind of show us other OCs they have, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Like the Book of Stars chibis, like what you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
access
yeah.
to. I mean,
Because I think I saw
those look
some
cool,
that
but
looked. Am I tweaking? Oh no. Yeah, there's one that I'm like, this could definitely the battle boosted Red Hood one. I think to me looks like it could be OC potential, but the other ones definitely not. Like the other ones are just
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel
not
like
it.
I mentioned it to Beats. I was like, that's most likely gonna be a thing where it's like when you're playing the little hero shooter minigame where like you get like a
Yeah.
1,000 kills and like you get that skin essentially like as a reward.
Yeah, that's
Um
bro, nothing
it
makes sense in this game.
it's like look like people are probably hearing this and like probably think like, oh, they're just shitting on this game. Guys,
I mean,
I
I
have more
am, but I love the game.
I
That's the
most
thing.
likely have more hours than you guys. I'm not gonna lie,
You do.
respectfully.
No, you
But
definitely do.
like it's one of
How
those
much
things
do you
where
have? Let me see.
I not that much, not gonna lie. Like 78
Bro,
maybe.
no.
Like,
What?
yeah.
Oh, you have 57. Okay.
No, 50. No, I
Yeah.
do not. I do not have 57. You're
It
crazy.
says, oh no, 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 but that's in the last 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
it's because like it only counts the last two
80,
weeks.
82. 82. I was about to say,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa, no.
No.
82.
Damn.
But it's one of those things where it's like, I'm at a point where, especially with this gotcha revenue chart, that like I'm seeing the
Mm,
number. If
yeah.
if I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. If next month they at least make 5 million, I think we're fine.
Yeah.
Like
No, I think we are.
the game's fine either way because
Because
the PC
yeah.
platform exists, PlayStation exists, but for
Yeah.
mobile players specifically, like that's a big audience they're gonna be missing out if they don't.
Not even just that, like, you
Mhm,
also have to keep in mind, we need free-to-play players. Just
mhm,
free-to-play players make up the freest amount of promotion for
mhm.
this game.
Yeah.
Like, even if they don't bring in money, like, directly,
Mhm,
they bring in money because they are 90% of the tweets you'll see on Twitter.
mhm,
You need free to plays. I just don't think the audience is that big for mobile, as much as it should have been. And I
mhm.
think there's two main reasons. One, half the people couldn't play, so
That's very
doesn't
true.
really help. Two, I mean, the game did not get the updates it needed, and I think it got worse with like, in a way, them giving out more keys made it worse because people were able to much more easily clear the content and reach that point that we reached much later.
Mhm.
And
That's
that
fair.
I
That's fair.
think screwed the game up
Yeah.
because it was
Mhm.
good to get the gear because they didn't need to grind that shitty ass Frozen Mines dungeon.
Yeah.
Genuinely the worst thing ever made in a gacha game. I
Yeah.
don't think there is a worse piece of content I have ever played,
Mhm,
especially because the key glitches and then you just wasted 7 minutes getting there and
mhm.
then you can't get the key. That shit pissed me off.
Yeah.
But
And I'm not running guilt on there. I'm not pantsu.
no,
No offense,
no,
pantsu. I'm not running guilt on them to make that thing
nope.
faster. No. Like,
So yeah, it was nice. But then the other crazy thing, I mean, we mentioned it before, like we just started the video.
mhm.
We've gotten 2,600 fragments in events since launch.
So I didn't realize it was that low until
Me
like
neither.
they released the event and someone was like now I'm gonna defend that marble a little bit here because you have the whole like this is 1.0. You have the
Yeah,
whole world to explore, get all the currency. They've showed how much you're supposed to get in
yeah.
1.0. It's a lot of grinding, don't get me wrong, but
Oh yeah.
it's there. Now, I do
Mm,
understand people wanting easy currency to get. I get it.
That's not even just the problem. The
Mhm.
other problem, the navigation makes it so
So
much
bad.
worse
I
because the
agree.
fact that all the star fragment currency is locked behind the like navigation exploring just
Mhm.
highlights the problems with the game more.
Mhm. That's
Like, if you
fair.
think about it, because like, oh, you want to get X or Y thing to make exploring quicker. Well, you're gonna have to experience everything bad with the game to be able to gather the materials to get your bench up, get the potions. Getting the potions. Oh, well, you're gonna spend like 5 hours of hell just gathering with the materials to even be able to maybe catch the pets to make it easier.
Yeah.
You don't get the pets, go fuck yourself. Like,
Yeah.
that's basically it.
And by the
So
way, I'm
yeah,
surprised because I did my Lost Vein summons recently and I got the gold potions, right? I thought they were 100%. Why is it
no, no,
80%? Why do
yeah,
I have
no,
a chance at failing?
yeah,
That is bad. Like now that's just like whale issues, I feel like people who spent
mm,
for that. They did say eventually stuff like that will be made like accessible for
mm,
free players. Um
yeah,
But going back to, like, the topic of, like, revenue, I truly believe that, like, this is one of those games where it's like you'll see it on the revenue chart, and you're like,
yep.
"Well, the main audience is on PC and consoles." So, like, I mean,
There's definitely a pretty big audience that is playing. It's just
mhm,
I think for mobile, it did need to be bigger because, like, okay, if this was like Grand Cross, it's a much smaller game in size, so it's
mhm.
like it made this money on launch, like it would have been a W.
Yeah,
But
like, "Oh, that's
I
great,
think
look
there's
look
a
how good it's doing."
world,
Yeah.
there is a world that like Grand Cross might have made them more on launch than Origin.
I wish we had that number, by the way. I
Like,
wanna see
because
what
if
that
you think
number was
about it,
like.
like Grand Cross was huge.
Yeah, they had
It
season
was a
2, they
huge
had
game.
season 3 hype
I
coming up,
mean,
they had JP already
bro,
being a thing.
I
Yeah,
don't
they
think we're gonna see an anime gacha like making a creator pull Nagato numbers anymore.
mhm.
Like that's just not a
I
thing.
mean, you had
And
Dokkan players playing Grand Cross. That's how crazy
yeah,
Grand Cross was back then. Yeah.
so it's like I genuinely think there's a funny like just in my head thinking that Grand Cross was a bigger success for them than Origin.
Mhm.
It's pretty funny to think about.
Yeah.
But I will say Origin is fun, but like we do need something because like I'm fine with the downtime. Like
Mhm.
I'm good. Like taking a week, do my keys, hop off after 20 minutes
Yeah.
is
That's
good because
pretty fast, yeah.
bro, I feel like I've been doing full-time shifts on the game for the past first two
Dude,
weeks.
the first week it was me clocking out of work and clocking back into work for
Bro,
Origin, bro.
oh
It
my
was bad.
God, dude.
I don't people don't know this, but I like my naps. I love my
Yeah,
naps. I should
Kelbert
be
was
taking a
pissed.
I should be taking a
Kelbert
nap
was
right
pissed.
now. I
Oh
didn't
my
take a nap
God.
the first week. I
Yeah.
did not get sleep properly. It was bad.
Kelbert was pissed when
Like
we were grinding all day with our keys, doing the everything we needed to like beat story. And then he's like, damn, I couldn't get my fucking nap
I
in.
and then I
Oh,
had
that
to go
was
to
funny.
sleep for like 3 hours, clock into work.
Yeah.
It was bad. But it just shows like
Yeah.
we actually enjoy the game. So I'm
The
my
game was
opinion,
fun. The first week of the game was like it felt as close as I probably will get to like reliving how Genshin felt, I think.
that's completely fair. And like in my opinion, I feel like the down period isn't bad. Now, I
No.
do wish the game launched with some sort of end game because
Not launch, bro. How do they not launch with Endgame? But they
I
for sure have the next like 8 units already done.
so that's my thing. It was like I had to think.
What?
I was like, the Genshin, the we're comparing it to Genshin because that's the golden
They
standard.
had Abyss right
They
away.
had Abyss
Also,
right
that
there.
Abyss at the beginning was so fun because like
Hmm.
I remember struggling my ass off just to beat Abyss 3. Like the third
Exactly.
one, and there was
Back
12.
exactly.
Oh, that
So
was
it
crazy.
and you're like, wow, that means I have to grow so much. Like I have to do so much. And then
Yeah.
that's when me personally, if we had an end game and we felt that experience, like, oh, that means I have to go farm gear, I have to use my
Yeah.
keys. Like that's where it would have been. Like we would have had a
And
reason to
that the
farm.
other thing is like they're mentioning Endgame, and that was like why I brought up like them letting people get to Endgame quicker with Grand Launch made it that people needed the content quicker because like they
That's
really
true.
they power boosted people right away.
Hmm.
That gear set for Fiery and Thunderous,
Hmm.
we wasted like days of keys trying to get
Trying
those
to get
sets.
those sets, and people just got
They
it.
get it right away. They got the Jericho
Mhm.
Lance, which was really good early on.
And we're not
They
complaining
get a
about this, by
bunch
the
of
way,
extra
because
keys.
we also got it as well. So we're not complaining
Yeah,
about just it
it's more
being
so
bad.
just the fact we started without like I think they got like an extra 150 keys, 200k
Hmm.
gold, the freelance, the extra standard pulls.
They were boosted a bit, not too much, but they were boosted to the point where we're like they're catching up to us essentially.
Yeah,
Like it's yeah.
because you were like mentioning when we were talking about like is there too much content? Like you were like yeah, but like people are gonna finish the story super quick, and it's like
Mhm.
that's true actually
See
the
is a great
things.
example. He beat
Yeah,
on a free to play account in like 6 hours the main story. I'm pretty sure. I think it was
oof,
6 hours. I think
yeah,
I
no,
might
I
be
mean,
wrong, but like.
obviously it's just way quicker, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Also, I'm not gonna lie. I put it on Twitter. I mean, some people disagreed. A lot of people agreed.
Mhm.
That stretch from 36 to 40 was miserable.
It was
I did
bad.
not like it
It was bad.
personally.
I
The fact
wouldn't.
that you needed to do it to like min max at
Well,
all, but then it's like, hey, what are you min maxing for? So, touche. Maybe you don't even need to do it
we,
because there's
we,
nothing to
we
even
were
min max
min
for.
maxing for those 5 extra keys, bro. We
Oh
need them.
my.
We needed them. We still
No, I
do.
was min max. I feel like I got baited because like I was min maxing because I'm like, you know what? I need that extra gold dungeon to get more gold, and then we find out the spider nest is actually just better.
Which
So
is
fuck me,
crazy,
I
by the
guess.
way. I'm surprised that everyone and their mom found out at the same exact time because Amazing
Yeah,
mentioned it the day before. And I was
yeah,
like, that's actually pretty interesting. And then I was like, I'll make that into a video. And then
hmm
C made it to a video. The French people did it. The
yup.
Spanish people did it. I was like, you know what? I'm not even
It's
gonna do it.
great.
Like, you guys got
Yeah,
it. Like, it's one of those things
yeah.
where it's
No.
like, it's weird. Like they're pushing us to an end game that doesn't exist right now. In my opinion, I feel like this game should have launched with one of those mini games they promoted, like the little
hmm
chibi ones.
Like,
Dude,
how did we not get them?
I would have loved that
So
racing mini
funny.
game. Probably would be playing it right
Oh,
now.
dude.
It's like
Dude, the Genshin mini. I like the Genshin mini games. That hide and seek one had me playing for
I'm telling you,
hours.
that's the only good one, by the way. Don't let him fool you. But
That is
like,
true. That is
that's the
true.
only good one.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like that that gets you like, yo, you'll be in a VC with the guys, but like, yo, let's play this.
Mhm.
Like, I have to get my reward still anyway, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, let's do it.
Also,
Mhm.
just kind of a just to make a statement. I think this game is miserable if you don't have friends.
I mean,
I'm gonna be so for real. I'm
that's
gonna be
not
so for
crazy to
real.
say.
Like, if I was not in VC playing this game, especially early on, this shit would have been much different. Like me struggling on Bug, you struggling on Deanna at the same time,
Yeah.
really added flavor to the game.
I feel like everybody struggled on something differently in that VC,
Yeah.
by the way.
Oh
Amazing with
yeah. Yeah.
with Twigo, me with
That
Deanne,
was so
you
funny.
with Bug, and I was like,
Dude,
why?
the
Like,
fact that I was
we're
like, yo, Kelbert, is Bug hard? And you're like, nah, I beat it
yeah,
after 2 or 3 times. And
yeah.
then I was on that for 4 hours.
I don't get how we all just struggled on different things. It's because like I guess I don't know. Maybe we just it's weird. It's really weird. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know. Like I personally love this game. It just has major issues, and I'm not gonna be like one of those crazies that doesn't mention it, right?
Mm.
Because I'd rather be
I think that
truthful.
it will be a problem if they don't give us a good dev note on within the next week.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think that they will lose probably 20 to 30% of the active players if
Hmm.
they don't change anything.
Hmm.
Now, those players could come back with like Escanor and things,
Hmm.
which is definitely going to happen for sure because
Yeah.
like
Everybody
obviously
like
Escanor,
people who don't even
I think,
play the
yeah,
game already are coming back for Escanor. Like it's one of those
yeah,
things where he's too big of a hype. Like imagine.
that's the
By the
thing.
way, I can't imagine this happening, but God forbid. Imagine Escanor drops and there's like major bugs in the game, and people are like, "Why would I
Yo, high
play
key,
this game?"
Kelbert, high
Like,
key, it's good they didn't do the thing where like, some people were like they should drop him on launch. It's good because if they
no,
did that, oh my, yo, that
no,
would have been
that would have
bad.
been bad.
Imagine,
Hmm.
dude, they
It would
would
have been
have been
bad.
like that Marvel would have been like public enemy number one.
Like it's. I mean, hey, I'm glad that like, because as of right now, 2 million for them is a positive. Hopefully, I highly doubt it is because they put so much $1 million into the game.
Yeah, no, that's the
Um,
thing.
like no game is gonna make back the revenue all at once unless you're Genshin Impact. Day
Yeah,
one probably made 100 million. Um, but it's one of those things where it's like I set it to beats, and I'll always say this when there's like bugs in video games.
yeah,
Who is QA testing these things? Because it's
yeah.
some of these
No,
things
I get it.
happen way too often to the point where it's like, did you not experience this while testing? Like, what type of NASA
That's the
PC
thing.
are you running
Yeah.
to the point where you don't experience bugs? Like,
That's
generally,
the thing.
there
But,
was a
like, not even just that, like,
mhm,
you need, like, genuine bug testers, especially,
mhm.
like, I'm seeing that on BSR, bro, like, the community sentiment is so much worse because just of kit bugs. But this game has a little more than just kit bugs.
It
It
has gameplay
has,
bugs. It have
like,
everything bugs.
genuinely horrible bugs.
Like,
Like,
there's
the amount of people who haven't been able like, were locked out of playing for hours.
mhm. Dude, I don't know if you follow Kensei, the French guy.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't follow him, but he always pops up on my timeline. He had a
Mm,
bug where he was just, I believe it was Kensei, that he
see
was
it. Yeah,
Yamcha posing for days.
yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I believe it was him, and
In
he
the
was
Gila fight, yes,
yeah.
it was
I
Kensei.
I almost had that happen to me yesterday in the spider dungeon. I
Oh,
died,
no.
and my Melly was there, and I was like, "There's no shot." And I have the footage, by the way. I stood there for like 10
Oh
seconds. I
my.
was like, "I'm gonna just sit here."
Yeah,
I refused to click anything, and
yeah,
then it reset. I was
yeah,
like, "Thank God." But like, it's stuff like that where it's like we're gonna be talking about this like a year from now. Like, dude, launch was bad.
yeah.
Like,
I
it's
think, like, okay, for me too, like, the perspective I have is, like, I mean, like, you keep up, like, decently with BSR,
mhm,
like, they have a lot of bugs,
mhm,
but the reason why like, I feel like I'm more negative than most of the community because most of the
mhm,
community is forgiving because the bugs are fixed like that.
mhm.
Like, they get fixed within a week, not even, and, like, it's pretty good communication. They add, like, buffs to the bugs for characters, and it's like people are happy. But, like, it's been almost 3 weeks, and I feel like the communication's been pretty bad because, like, they'll say, "Oh, yeah, we're fixing this bug," and then the bug gets fixed. "Oh, yeah, it's still happening, by the way."
Yeah, it's look, there's levels to shilling. Like, I'm gonna shill when I can, like I said before, but like I've expected more communication. Like, it's
Yeah,
like, hey,
yeah.
the conversation has been nice, but
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
going back to the earlier thing when like people were saying like we're not getting enough pools, I didn't know it was that low from event
Thing is,
pools
though, to be
overall.
fair, we also did get the 3,000 for the number
Mm-hmm.
1. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, you could very easily get Melly, and I would
Mm-hmm.
argue if you're
Oh
free to
yeah,
play and you're not
100%.
rerolling, like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're free to play, not rerolling and complaining, there's a
Yeah.
problem.
No,
Like,
like
I'm just gonna be honest. Like the amount of people that do reroll, and I think there's a good reason. And hey, with the grand launch, rerolling was made pretty
easier.
easy.
Yeah,
And
100%.
also, it's not like 30 minutes like Genshin and stuff. It's a 10-minute reroll, you're done.
Hmm.
So, like,
Yeah.
it's to the point where, there is that first part that there should not be a problem overall with the gacha, at
Hmm.
least to get Melly. And I think Melly is a great first character, even compared to other gachas, because I think he has that longevity because he's
Hmm.
dark. Like, darkness types in this game
Are
are going to
always
be
gonna
really
last.
good.
Yeah, I that's my issue, high key, with the gameplay loop of this game right now.
Mm.
And it's probably just because Melly's really is the only main DPS we have right now. But darkness is always going to be meta.
Yeah, I
It's
do kind of
always.
like it though. Like, it's going to be interesting how they, because to be fair, Escanor is his main weapon
Hmm.
is fire,
Hmm.
so it's going to be interesting, right? And you also could say like, I don't know if I fully agree with that because like for example, Petrify like makes the Petrify team insanely strong. So when
That's
we get
fair.
Bond, like they're going to be scaled to where it's like you can't you're not going to be able to run Dark on that team
Hmm.
because Dark doesn't work with Petrify.
Hmm.
So it will be interesting to see how that goes. But I think it's fine because like I think they're gonna do it to where it's like, okay, if you have like a fire burst, then Escanor is gonna do like 100% damage,
Yeah,
something like that, right?
that's fair.
So I think
Hmm.
it's fine, but like I think it's good for the first banner to have Melee, because people reroll, they get Melee, and
Hmm.
you can run the fire team, and you don't gotta summon at all for any of the standards. Now,
Hmm.
no standard selector is crazy in 2026. I don't know the last game that hasn't gotten a selector.
Hmm.
Like I genuinely cannot think of the last game, the last gacha that's released without a selector.
Yeah, so that
At
was.
least for these types of like Hoyo gachas that have like very few
Mhm.
SSRs, it's crazy.
To be fair, I think I'm in the boat where it's like I get people wanting a selector, but it's like high. They kind of gave you a free Gila, you know. Like if it
I think
wasn't.
that's fair. But I think like the thing is, while that is great, because like you get Melly, you have your team. That's
Mhm.
good. It's more so the fact that like it was Gila
Yeah, it was
and
Gila market.
ninety-five
If it was Jericho or
ninety-five
someone else,
percent
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
95% of players do not care for Gila.
Mhm.
And not even just that, like all the cool characters or all the really good characters are the ones you have to try and pull.
Mhm.
And it kind of turns into that like old Dokkan thing where it's like, bro, you are not pulling these LRs.
Yeah.
Like, yo, dude, I mean, the chase
No,
for a
yeah.
lane was not fun. The chase for a lane, dude,
Yeah, it was something, yeah.
holy, like I don't think it's ever a good thing when it's harder to get the standards than the limiteds.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah.
don't. At least the one you want.
Mhm.
That's the main thing. But yeah, that I think it was like they compensated like, okay, no weapon, gotcha, 120 pity, which I like the limited gotcha. I think it's very good, to
Mhm.
be honest. I think it is really good. I mean, I told you if it was gonna be Hoyo, I think this game was like DOA. If it was gonna
Yeah.
be exactly the 80 pity, no like 120 thing, and a weapon banner with 50-50, the game was cooked. The
Yeah.
game was cooked
Yeah.
immediately. Like if it launched
That
like
that was our
this with
biggest
a
fear. That
bad
was that
gotcha,
was that was genuinely our
I
biggest fear of
genuinely
having a bad
think
gotcha, yeah.
the minute I saw that there was the 120 system, sigh of relief because I don't think I would have played if there was a bad gotcha.
Mhm. I mean,
There was just no point to it.
that's why people play gotchas, for a good gotcha
Yeah.
system, yeah.
Because if you're gonna make it in 2026, you need to have a good gotcha, and I think they do,
Mhm.
right? People saying it's worse than Arknights is a bit funny, because
Not
like,
even close. Not even close.
especially because
Not even close.
there's I'm pretty sure there's a weapon banner there. There's no weapon
There
banner here,
there's a
and
what.
with time,
Mhm.
yeah, go on.
No, I was about to say, like, that I believe the way the weapon banner works in Enfield is, like, you have to summon on the main banner, and then you get tickets to summon on the weapon banner, but I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed. It's weird, but it's still a weapon banner technically. So like
Yeah.
even if you want to summon for a weapon, you have to summon on the main banner. Meaning even if
Mhm.
you don't want the character, you have to summon to get tickets. I believe
Yeah.
that's how it works. Sounds pretty stupid. I seen the
But
Google
it was
Doc. I
just
got
yeah,
confused.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah. I think like for me, I like the gacha because like what is cool is if you get shafted, you end up getting lucky on the next banner.
Mm-hmm.
Like you literally you do 20 pulls, you got the unit.
Mm-hmm.
You lose 50-50 banner one, you get the 120 pity.
And you
In
just save
20
for the next
pulls, you get
video.
the 50-50. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty good. I like it. But that first week, you like I was almost at the point where I would have rathered a weapon banner because of how bad the navigation was. Dude, having like at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'm done story now. It's time for me to get my I think I got the longsword.
Mm-hmm.
Doing long swords and side quests in that same time
Bad.
frame might have been the worst
It
decision
was
I've ever
bad.
made. Having to get the crafting bench up alongside doing side quests, alongside gathering all the materials for the weapon. Oh
Mhm.
my lord, dude! Like I feel like every bad part of this game just like combined into one in those like 10 hours that I was playing, getting the weapon, the crafting bench, and all that.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was really
I
bad.
mean,
Now it's fine. I like the weapon system now.
yeah,
It's fun because it like
because
forces me to grind. Like I do a bit of grinding
mhm,
every day. It gives me a goal per week to get the weapons.
mhm.
But what am I getting the weapons for now?
That's the issue. There's nothing to do. And don't get me wrong, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, maybe they just wanted 1.0 to be like, you get in, you do the story, you do your dailies.
Yeah,
By the time you're supposed to be done, we will be rolling out the update that has
yeah,
Daisy Endgame, a mini game, supposedly, right? But the
yeah,
issue is they gave us too many rewards. I'm not gonna complain, but the
yeah,
free to play player is up to the point now where they're rivaling me in like Team
yeah.
CC
That's the
because
thing.
like yeah.
I'll say like there's three things that kind of made it bad.
Hmm.
Number one, they said it was a grand launch.
Hmm.
Nothing was fixed. Number two, they promised a grand update for the grand launch. They said we will have it ready in time for the grand launch. That was their words. And number three, they gave out too many keys or just had a kind of bad way of handling the key economy in this game
Hmm.
to where, also because like, once I get the engraved set, I don't like if it's level one, two, or three, no matter the substats, I'm like, you know what, touche, I got fucked. I don't care. Like, we don't have any content to where I have to care.
So
That's the problem.
and high key, and this is no shot to any creator out there, by the way. I watch a lot of Origin content to be fair. Um, I'm at a point where it's like I do my dailies. I might do my route a day. I might not. It depends. And that's it. And people have asked me, they're like,
Yeah,
hey, why don't you like do like a melee bug showcase? And don't get me wrong, I probably should do that as a creator of my size. But it's like, for what reason? Who am I fighting?
yeah.
Like, what am I
Like,
going against? If we had Endgame, I 100% would, because that's what you want to do. You want
mhm.
to be like, hey, do this team if you're struggling, if you're that type of
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But there's nothing to do. You can hit 500K with bug. Yes, that's cool. But for what? A red demon?
Yeah. No,
Who
that's
are
the
we
thing.
doing this
Because
against?
it's
Like,
also by the time you get to the point where you could do 500K, nothing's even a challenge anymore.
exactly.
Like you're just mindlessly grinding at that point.
Hmm.
So for me, okay, I mean, we could talk about Daisy now. I don't think we really got into it.
Hmm.
I don't think Daisy's coming. I think there's like a 0% chance
Hmm.
unless they want the game to EOS as soon as the contract's done. Like I'm being
Yeah.
so for real. If
I
Daisy comes, I think it is over for this
I
game for a majority of players.
I don't think they're I don't think it's Giku's being a bit dramatic here. He's kind of right, but it's
I'll
one of
give
those
you my
things.
reason after, but you go on. Give me your thoughts and
I think it's one of those things where if it is Daisy, the content is how itself has to be good. Because if
yeah,
it's Daisy, like I'm personally gonna summer firm. I know a lot of people aren't, meaning revenue is gonna be down
yeah.
overall.
Bro, I
But
mean, how many people replied to the tweets being like, "Oh, nice, they're giving us a free skip for the first banner."
literally,
People were happy about that, but
I made that exactly. I was like, wow, the game is so good. They're giving you a skip banner straight up.
yeah,
Like it's one of those things where like the content is gonna have to carry
yes,
to satisfy the player base. Because like I
yeah,
if you
for sure.
give me that shooter mini game and you tell me I have to get like 1,000 kills each for a skin of like chibi skin or etc., I'll do it. I'm there.
Mhm.
I'll stream it. I'll be happy. But it's like the player base has to be satisfied to a point where it's like, okay, we're not getting a character we want, but we have end game now. We have a mini game. We have stuff to farm. I have to build
Yeah,
this now because I need a second team all of a sudden. Like it's that
mhm.
type of stuff. You need to
Yeah,
have. It's not just a banner that has to be good. It has to be
no.
the
Now,
content.
I will say, like, I think they're kind of doing radio silence just to make sure not to overpromise because they did that once before. I
Hmm.
think that is a better approach, but like their deadline quite literally is when Melee leaves for PC players. If it's any later, I think that's bad. Now,
Hmm.
my thing is that okay, like I was playing Kaiju number 8 on launch, and on launch it was a bad game. It was a bad game.
It still is.
Like
Still
just
is.
that's the thing. Now it improved a lot.
Hmm.
And the thing is, if the game launched like that, I would have continued playing,
Hmm.
but it didn't. So for me, I locked out of the game and I could not lock back into the game. And I think that that is just how gachas are because there's so many coming out.
Hmm.
The game has to keep you invested. If
Hmm.
they don't, they will lose. Like there will be people that return, but they will not get everyone back that they should have had stay.
Hmm.
Because you have to keep in mind, people will return for Escanor, but some people will just, summon, get
And just leave.
Escanor, try him out for a bit, and leave.
Yeah.
Other people will try Escanor, stay for a bit. The game doesn't have too much or not enough. I'm gonna leave. Some people
Mhm.
will stay, but like they would have had more players. And like, okay, I am definitely being hard on this game, but why? Because the game is a very high cost game to where they need to make a lot of their money back. And it's Netmarble, so I have pretty high expectations out of them,
Mhm.
especially considering how solo leveling was and the
Mhm.
fact that Grand Cross was probably made them more money. Like I think Grand Cross went more mainstream than Origin.
Dude, I had IRL friends who didn't like little backstory. My IRL friend group is a very small group of people. I don't talk about them about anime a lot. Rarely, like when like Dragon Ball Super Broly was happening, we went and saw it. They thought it
Mm.
was cool. And that one friend of mine got into anime. One day, randomly, he had a Melio this profile picture on Xbox, and I was like, "Wait, what's this?" He got me into 70s.
Oh, that's
He got me
crazy.
into JP Grand Cross.
Yo, damn.
That's how crazy
God.
Grand Cross was going
Okay, to
before
be fair, Grand
global.
Cross was an anomaly.
It
It was an
was. It
anomaly in the
genuinely
game. I think
because
it's just because also the lockdown started like the week after it came
literally,
out on
yeah.
global.
Like so, it was
It
COVID
was in the
lock.
same month.
It had the Genshin effect essentially. It was
Yeah,
pandemic. It was season 1 and 2 was on Netflix plus the movie,
yeah,
so you had content to watch. And then you also had Blazing shutting down, so there was a lot of
mm,
creators moving around trying to find a new home, and they found
yeah,
Grand Cross. And
uh-huh,
then it was a perfect storm. But it's one
yeah.
of those things where it's like I, I don't know. It's Grand Cross was an anomaly that's like kind of like
Yeah.
Genshin, but Genshin rode it way higher to expectations that
No,
nobody
yeah.
saw happening.
It's more so just like comparing a marble game to a marble game. I
Hmm.
think if we compare every aspect to like other games, like I think they've failed in every aspect compared to the other products they've made.
Hmm.
Now, I think they wanted to release it later, but they were forced to release it now
Oh, the
because
IP holder
the
100%
game
said, guys, like we've
the
been
game was
holding
supposed to
on.
release in 2024. It's
It's
2026. So,
they were like,
now
guys,
I could give an anecdote.
hmm
Like BCM, Black Clover Mobile, was supposed to release later,
hmm
but they just had to release it. Like they
hmm
literally just had to shoot it out. So it's like this is a thing among, especially for like anime IP gotchas, but just in general, because investors at some point need their investment. So
hmm
like they needed more time, and I think they took on a little too much
hmm
at like right away. Like that was the biggest problem. So like I don't know. I mean, especially because Mongol also got delayed. I think the Marbles in a position where they were very passionate and wanted a lot of money, but they flew too close to the sun and realized,
they're
yo, we
start
cannot handle this.
they're starting to get burnt. 100%. They're
Because
starting to
like
get burnt.
it's just how many, bro, Shangri, Origin, solo
Mon-
leveling,
mhm.
Mongol. I mean, like it's a
Nino
lot of
Kuni at one
gotchas.
point, Grand Cross
It's a
updates
lot of gotchas
constantly.
back to back.
Hmm.
So it's like, at some point, it's maybe too much. And I think it was too much for Origin, and they had to just shit the game out at some point,
Hmm.
which,
And don't
I
get me
feel bad
wrong.
for them. I think the game, if it released in
Mhm.
June, July, I think this game would have been amazing.
Mhm. Now, don't get me wrong, we're shitting on it a lot, right? We think the core game is good, but we're talking about the aspect of like it's in a bad state, and we're not gonna
Yeah.
sugarcoat it. Like I personally enjoy the game. I'm
Mhm.
getting on. I think I'm on right now, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like we wanted to do better, and this is the only
Yeah.
way it's gonna get better with criticism.
Mhm.
That's how you grow as a person, as a company, as a human, is by listening to people and being like, okay, they're right. Um, it's just it's hard to say because it's true. And
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this game since since
Yo,
4, 5, almost 6 years essentially at this point. I don't know when it was announced, like 4 years ago, 5
I
years.
think you made it in 2021, the Twitter.
I dude, I saw I was in the Modern Warfare 2 lobby and I saw
Yeah,
the tweet go live 70
dude.
yesterday in an open world game. I
It
Alt
was
F4
cool.
it was crazy.
It was very
An
cool.
IP I sort of care about, like getting an open world
You
game.
made the Twitter in July 2022, so like almost 4 years ago.
It's one of those things where it's like it's like I'm passionate about it. I want it to succeed.
Yeah,
I think I'm a not a pillar in the community, but I my voice is heard by
I'd say you
people.
are.
Like it's one of those things where it's like the game has to be good for me to
Yeah.
say positive things about it, which is I've said it
Uh-huh.
before. I like the
I
co-op.
honestly think though, like I'm
Mhm,
probably like even if I stop content on this game, I don't
mhm.
think I'm gonna stop playing the game.
Yeah, it's one
I
of those
think the
things.
game is just
Mhm,
fun because like I do like there's some times where it's like, especially because I play and cover multiple gachas,
mhm,
I need downtime, so I don't mind the downtime.
mhm,
It's more so just objectively looking at the gacha sphere right now,
mhm,
because there's so many gachas that come out, because there's so many gachas at the moment, like people won't stick to a game that either is bad, requires too much time, is underdeveloped, is buggy, right? They're gonna just hop on to the next thing. That's
mhm,
just kind of how it is.
mhm. I mean, to be fair, when they delayed Origin this past like early this year, but
Yeah.
Enfield was right around the corner,
Yeah.
so they knew they
Now
were
what's the game coming out soon? Let me check that out.
Mongo.
No, no, no.
It's
There's a like.
s-
Oh
s-
yeah,
s-
no. Neverness to Everness. NTE. That's the
but
one.
that's like more GTA, like like
Yeah, but it's just because they're both open world that like
the
like
comparisons happening. Yeah,
there's always that thing like the comments I see. One of the main comments, Kelbert, is like, "Oh, game's bad. I'm gonna hop. I'm just like waiting period for X gotcha now."
that's fair.
Like, oh, game's coming out in 2 weeks. Like, okay, I'm gonna play until that gotcha. Like, people hop from gotcha to gotcha, especially
Hmm.
free to plays. It's very easy to just stop playing,
Hmm.
right? When you spend money, cool, but if mobile players can't even play, then well, guess what? They're gonna go on to the next gotcha. This one's gonna be forgotten. Now, thing is though, I think Japan is probably gonna carry this a lot. I
Hmm.
think Japan just really likes Seven Deadly
Japan
Sins in
loves
general.
7DS. Yeah,
So,
like
so yeah, I think Japan's fine. It's more so the global and Korean community I see maybe dwindling out a bit, depending on the
to be
next
fair,
banner.
Korea always has the smallest community for Netmarble
Yeah,
games. Like
yeah.
Netmarble Korea makes
Besides, I think for
Seven Nights.
Rebirth, Seven Nights,
Yeah,
Seven
seven
Nights was making
massive.
that was like a Naruto mobile type of
Yeah,
anomaly.
like Seven Nights is loved in Korea, but for like
Yeah, that's it.
Grand Cross in Korea never does good. It's
Yeah,
like
I
50K,
just anime
100K
gachas
best.
don't really do too good in Korea, I
Yeah,
find.
yeah,
Like, I don't know the last, like, I would need to look into it, but it's like, it's either China or Japan for these types of games that really
yeah.
cook.
Hmm.
Global, I think, like, we tend to have bigger games for, like, the non-anime IPs, because I think
Hmm.
that they've shown how bad they usually are.
Hmm. Like
So,
like the Hunter Bubble Popper that just came out. Yeah.
JJK, I
To be
mean,
fair, the IP carries that game so hard. That's
yes,
the only
yes,
reason I
but it's
keep
like,
up with it. But
yeah, no, but like
yeah.
it's more so just like,
Hmm.
anime IPs usually aren't received well, and it's like this was our first open world. So like I think being able to play with these characters in an open world, like sometimes I just stare and I'm like, damn, like I'm really just able to like freely roam with Melly in an
Hmm.
open world, set in the world of like what's
7DS.
the continent?
Oh,
What's the continent name?
Britannia technically. Like
Yes,
yeah,
Britannia.
yeah.
Yes. I was gonna say Leonis, but that's
No,
just the kingdom.
yeah. I get what
So
you
that's
mean.
cool. And
Yeah.
I cannot wait for Arthur, cannot wait for Esteros, I cannot
Hmm.
wait for Escanor. I cannot wait for these characters.
Hmm.
But things gotta improve like in 4 days. I mean, that's kind
Yeah.
of their
I
deadline.
mean,
That's kind of I'm not
and
gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's getting to the point where it's like I've been daily uploading since the first early access day, right? And it's one of those things where it's like tomorrow I have a pretty cool video planned, like showcasing Sora's account, because he has a no pull account, right? So it's
Yeah.
like that he's like it's a real free to play account, so it's like I want to showcase that, and then after that, I don't think I have a video anymore. Like I
Yeah.
don't have
I mean,
I
like,
it's
there's,
bad.
it's just, I'm at the point now where, like, I have videos I could make, but it's like, I
Do I
don't
need
even
to?
really want to. I don't kind of want to. But
And there's no shame in
I'm
that too.
enjoying
There's
myself
no
because
shame in
it's
that.
like this, it's just kind of unfortunate that this game's turning more into something that I don't even really want to create content on because
Hmm.
there's not much I'm excited for, or there's technically nothing.
Hmm.
That's the thing. It's not even about me being excited because, like, bro, I had so much fun those first 2 weeks.
Hmm.
It was so much fun,
Yeah.
especially the bosses. But like, the bosses are not feeling boss worthy anymore.
Hmm.
So
I mean,
that's the thing.
I feel like that's one of the issues. We're gonna wrap it up soon because it's about to be an hour of this.
Jeez. Okay.
But it's one of those things where the beta not fooled us, but it was like we definitely should have had another beta. But
Yeah.
the way the learning curve was in the beta is that there wasn't a learning curve, so we just
Uh-huh.
technically dropped straight into endgame after story,
Yep.
But in the full game,
And story had 3 chapters
and
too. That's
story
another
had
thing.
3 chapters, so it was Endgame was way closer. And then, like, with the full game, you actually had a learning curve, so meaning there was more content, there was stuff to
Yeah.
do, and I get it,
Also,
but
Red
it's like
Demon should have been, like, an actual boss.
I
I feel like
I
he got
I f
screwed
I
over.
feel
Like,
red and gray, by the way. I feel like they
I yeah, no, that was
it's
so weird
weird.
because like, I actually like, Red Demon was our first experience with Red Demon, I think, was, like, the peak of Gacha for me,
It
personally.
was
Like,
fun.
I really enjoyed the co-op
Mhm,
experience, and I think that was great. I think that was, like, still, like, even with post-launch, I think Red Demon, that experience was the peak of Origin
mhm,
for me, and
mhm.
now I was
To
fighting
be
Red
fair,
Demon. What is this boss now?
I think the closest thing post-launch that I've replicated that was most likely Helgila.
Gila, yeah,
Because it
yeah,
was one because she just one shot you, so it was hard. But two, it was actually fun because we had more people with us this time. Not
yeah,
there was more people to play with. It wasn't just me, you, and Beats.
mhm,
So it was
that's
one of
it.
the aspects where it's like we were in BC for like
Dude,
a
that shit was
while.
like
Like it was
I when I beat it solo, like, I had the JJK OST playing. When I need to lock in, I just put that on, and, like, my heart was pumping,
it's
dude, it
just
was
all
pumping.
you
I was like, "Oh my god, she's almost dead. I need to kill her now."
it's just the cursed technique explanation in the background.
Oh,
Like
dude,
when
literally.
Gila starts
Doo-doo,
slashing at
doo-doo, and I'm like, I'm locked in. I see her animation. She does a Janemba, Janemba, and I'm like, no, I
yeah,
gotta get her now. I gotta get her
exactly.
now. It
Like
was fun,
the
but
mhm,
like, we need something. I think of Endgame, like, I think they have some of the best boss designs in Gacha. I
mhm,
think they're very good at it.
mhm,
Problem is, there's nothing right now for it. Like right now,
mhm.
you're kind of just grinding to grind, which I think
Yeah.
is going to lose a lot of players very quick.
Mhm,
And I just think that the revenue is a bit of a bad sign if they don't change anything
mhm,
within April. April like needs to be insane, and
mhm.
May needs to like finalize like everything in
The
terms of like
this
making sure
game
the
is here to
bugs
yeah, this game is here to
like
stay. We've
the
had
next 60 days are important.
mhm,
Next 30
100%.
days, they need to, 1, tell us what's changing, 2, tell
Mhm,
us when these updates are coming, 3, give us some sort of big update, and
mhm,
then May needs to finish up everything, right?
mhm. Be like,
But
this
right
is how the game's
now,
gonna be in the foreseeable future. This
yeah,
is what's happened. This is how content's gonna be dropping. Because my biggest issue going into launch, it was like, okay, when are update dates? Like, we know it's Monday now, right? But it's
yeah,
like at first I was like, okay, well, they didn't communicate it, so like I guess I have
mhm,
to ask quote unquote leakers or like just see in game what's going on timer wise, like
yeah, should
because
be
like
Monday, which I'm so happy. That's
yeah.
so perfect for me, but I think the other thing is we also have to like one thing on a positive note, they
Mhm.
bring a collab, they're getting a lot of players back.
Oh, brother, an AOT collab, and you're flying around as Aaron in the movement gear. Like,
Oh,
brother, I'm only 4 episodes into the free run, but I can see how
yeah,
free run can play sort of
dude.
like it's I'm already there. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's
Oh, dude, free
yeah.
run, I think free run AOT now, when
Mhm.
season 3 of Solo Leveling comes, a Solo Leveling collab would bang
Oh,
so
100%.
hard.
Like easily.
Besides that, like, is there
Slime?
anything that would
Slime?
I don't think it has the same hype as it did. Like, I think
That's
when the
fair.
collab came out, it was really hyped because it was,
Mhm.
like, in the, like, prime. I
Mhm.
think now it's more so there's, like, a core audience for Slime.
Mhm.
Um, Fate, we could get a Fate collab. That's a
Yeah.
possibility.
Fire Force is having their final season, but like
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
like
because it's already done, I don't know about Fire Force,
mhm.
but I think it would work. I don't know
Mhm.
how it was on, Grand Cross. I think it did pretty well.
It did pretty well. Yeah.
Um,
The characters were cool at least. Like
yeah.
I've only
Eminence.
watched season
Eminence is getting a, new season soon.
I'm not a big fan of
Uh,
that guy. Eminence of the
Thing
Shadow,
is, I
like
I haven't even been able to watch it because it wasn't on Crunchyroll, so it's
it
like,
wasn't? What was it on?
not for me. Well, because 'cause I'm in Canada, so it's like there's some different
Yeah,
things.
but get on Disney Plus,
I'm
like
gonna be sailing the sea soon though, Kelbert.
yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
watching it soon.
What other
What
collabs? What
else?
the
Oh, well,
so
actually, let me open
Ki
up, the
King of
Idol game because Idol does have a bunch of extra collabs.
mhm.
What did they do? Hold on.
King of
Omniscient Reader.
Fighters.
Okay, I know Omniscient Reader doesn't have an anime yet,
Mhm,
but I'm pretty sure like they've already done a collab on Idol,
mhm.
so they have the rights. If the anime is good, I think that collab would be huge. Also in Korea, they would get a lot of players because Korea
It's
and
really big.
especially the English communities, Omniscient Reader is like huge.
Okay.
So Omniscient Reader would be good if the anime is good.
Mhm,
Um, but yeah, collabs like there's infinite potential because now Marvel has a lot of things they could collab with.
mhm. They
That's the
own
good
a
thing.
lot of IPs. Like
Yeah.
genuinely, they are invested in like I mean a good example is Solo Leveling. They're so invested that they're getting credited in the anime. Like in the
Yep.
credits, you can see
I think there was
Netmarble.
like a over $100,000 investment
Mm-hmm.
into solo leveling.
Mm-hmm.
And we do see that because, like, for example, Arise has like original stories
Yeah,
based off of
original
like the author.
mangas. Yeah, like
It was
yeah.
very cool. So, like, yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like I think collabs are just a very promising thing because it's like Genshin doesn't do collabs, so I
Mm-hmm.
think this is a very good thing for this game,
Mm-hmm.
where if they do the right ones, like this could bang for the game and bring a
Hundred
lot of
percent.
people. Like they've got the hype side of Seven Deadly Sins and the hype side of collabs. I
Mm-hmm.
think a free run, especially with how Solo Leveling handled the free run collab, it was
I heard it
insane.
was great. I heard like they got
The
basically everybody for free. By the
they
way.
got Stark for free, but
Mm-hmm.
then usually Solo Leveling has a 50-50. You were guaranteed the banner. There was no
Mm,
50-50. It was
that's
after 80
crazy.
you get the
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 character.
rate up. So you were
That's
able to get
crazy.
Fern and also free run. But like let me check right now in Idle. I have the game open
Mm-hmm.
just to see the collabs. So well there's some that are bad. Like there was Swordmaster's Son, it's like a slot manhwa, but there's Return of the Blossoming Blade and Omniscient Reader, which are like the hypest of webtoons. But
Mm-hmm.
I think if they're gonna collab with something, it's gonna be if they have an anime. So then there's
Mm-hmm.
solo leveling, there's Dungeon Meshi, which I don't see happening in this game.
No.
They have P3R. They had a
Persona.
Persona 3 Reload collab in Idle,
Look,
which is so funny.
Persona and Gacha games collabing don't go hand in
Yeah, no,
hand. So,
maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't.
look,
They
banger
had
music
Hell's
though.
Paradise,
Hall's
which
Paradise
I
is
think
very
could be
pretty.
cool.
Yeah.
They had Shangri, obviously, because they
Mm-hmm.
own Shangri, right?
Shangri's gonna be.
Uh,
By the way, Shangri's gonna start appearing in a lot of games because they're
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're
Same thing
building
as
it up.
solo
Yeah.
leveling.
Yeah.
And then there's KOF. They had obviously.
Mm-hmm. I can see a King of
Um,
Fighters collab. I mean, it was the first collab on. No, it wasn't the first
yeah.
collab, but like you get
But
what I mean.
it was a pretty big collab because the units were good. So like you even
Mm-hmm.
saw them in the meta. Like I feel like I wasn't super tapped into Grand Cross, but like,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the like global tournament, I remember seeing people using the one guy with the bandana and the brown hair, the fire guy, I
Oh,
think.
Kyo. It was Kyo.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, collabs are definitely promising for this game. And like,
Mm-hmm.
if they deliver a good update, it could definitely bring a lot of people back.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, okay, now Marvel games are in a pretty decent position to where it's like they have good marketing. If they deliver good updates and have a hype unit, they could get players back.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, it would be better for them not to lose players right now because that would be really bad
And
for the
plus,
future.
public perception is a huge thing nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I mean, you see it on Twitter every day. Steam charts numbers being thrown left,
Mhm.
right. And keep in mind, right now, Steam chart numbers are pretty good. I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah. No, they're good.
20,
They're good.
24K. Obviously, console, mobile players, different numbers, but like the game's doing good. And again, I know we just spent an hour basically berating this game, but like
I think, if we get a dev note in 4 days, we're gonna have the Mr. Pokey devs listen moment.
Exactly. Like that's exactly it. Like that's pretty much it to be honest with you. Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap it there. It's been an
Uh-huh.
hour, so I have to render this and everything. But if you guys did like enjoy this, next time we'll have beats on, so we can have
Yes, sir,
pause
bro.
by the three-way. Um, you know, but Giku, thank you for coming on. I needed a video
Of
for today,
course, of
so this
course.
this definitely does it. And if you guys did like what you see, leave a like and subscribe and go to Giku's channel. He does a lot of gacha games. He is
Yes.
probably like the modern Vulcan for anime IPs. So
Yeah.
if you guys like that, of course, go over there and thank you for watching.